we've talked about the people that want to begin farming, whether they grew up in it or whether the guy wakes up tomorrow and that's just what he wants to do. If you've got a person like that, what's the biggest hurdle you feel like for that person, and what's some tips to overcome that?
So I would say if it's somebody who just wakes up and they really want to get into agriculture, first line of advice is don't quit your day job because agriculture is a business. And so when you think about getting into agriculture, you have to look at, okay, my plan is I want to grow organic tomatoes and organic vegetables, and I'm going to sell them at the local farmers markets. And I plan to get a contract with, one of our local restaurants that is going to be buying, right? All of those plans take a lot of time to get in place. You're going to have to build rapport with the local restaurant. You're going to have to understand how the farmers market and all of those things work. So it's not that it can't be done, but I would say if you have a good paying day job, keep that going because it's going to take you a little bit of time to start your farming business. Sure. There are some really great resources through our extension office as well as K-Card to help you build your business plan. Those are free services. So if it is something where you want to continue to grow, build on, and eventually make it your full-time job, there are free resources out there in the state of Kentucky, which are super beneficial. And then also for those, there are options with the Farm Service Agency. They have direct loans as well as we have loans that we can participate and work with them on, and Kentucky Ag Finance Corporation. So if we have that person who is looking to come out and start a farm, there are plenty of options, not only with River Valley AgCredit, but also because we're a preferred lender, we can work with those other opportunities through FSA and KFC. For instance, I had a young person come to me and they wanted to purchase, and I think it was around 45 acres and put in an orchard. And for this young person, they'd grown up on an orchard with their parents, and so for them it was kind of the next thing because their orchard trees were getting ready to mature out. They needed to go ahead and start planting on the new orchard. And so when they came to me, we set up a loan with Kentucky Ag Finance Corporation, and I just did it 50-50 with Kentucky Ag Finance Corporation. The cool part about Kentucky Ag Finance Corporation is that we can do that interest rate at 2.75%. Wow. Kentucky Ag Finance Corporation is how Kentucky used to invest their tobacco buyout dollars. So other states have chosen to spend that money elsewhere, and in the state of Kentucky, we wanted to put it back into our agricultural community and mostly helping our young beginning and small farmers. So for that person, they have a 15-year loan at 2.75, and then we could match it with a 15-year loan that was fully fixed, and anytime our interest rates go down at River Valley AgCredit, we can lower their interest rate, and of course, they always get the benefit of that 2.75%. So for those dreamers who really want to get into agriculture, there are definitely ways to do it.
Oh, wow. There are success stories with younger generations doing Absolutely. This. I know if I was 25, 30 years old and I wanted to start farming or buy a farm or something, I'd be like, this is a hopeless thought, but it's really not.
Right.
Because there's a lot of them out there that are doing it.
Absolutely. We see a lot of boom with our younger generations in the poultry industry. Yeah. So in this area specifically, Pilgrims and Tyson are kind of our top dogs whenever we think about integrators, but there are a lot of other smaller integrators that are coming into play. And those smaller integrators, Vital Farms is one of the big ones, Hanson Brook. We see those because the American people continuously are researching their health, researching their food, and doing those things. And while I can with all certainty say the American food supply is safe, there are still people out there that want those organic options and things like that. And so those smaller integrators are coming in. We see a lot of young people starting their operations with those smaller integrators. So that's a real estate purchase. Sometimes they're buying barns that already exist, but a lot of times they're going ahead and getting those contracts set up and they're doing the construction and everything as well. And in those instances, we're going to use FSA and we're going to use Kentucky Ag Finance Corporation because that just helps them lower their overall cost of borrowing.
Yeah. Are they coming through you guys on stuff like that, or is there grants to go along with stuff? How are they getting into that the easiest way?
So a lot of it is community development. So just kind of the pockets. Whenever I think about poultry, of course, Graves County has a ton of poultry, but Hickman County, my goodness gracious, they've really exploded. So a lot of it has to do with kind of that community aspect and friends and family. It's like a referral. You guys get referrals for listing people's land and or helping people. Yeah. You know, it's kind of the same thing. Those integrators also do a little bit of marketing themselves. And then if somebody shows that interest, our lenders are fit for ensuring that they can make the connections with people depending on what it is that they want to do. If they want to go into poultry, we can set them up with the different integrators to make sure that it's going to work, because all of those things are relationship based. Not every young person is going to be cut out to be a poultry farmer, and not every poultry farm is for every single person. But whenever I think about our orchards or row crop or hay ground, things like that, our lenders are out there. They know what the lay of the land is. Every single one of them is an expert within their county.
There are so many people that I deal with, and y'all deal with too, that just does not know what it is that they need to start doing or what it takes to be a landowner, much less a farmer. And so I kind of thought that, Chance, you did row crop with your dad, and you kind of been down that road a little bit. So
It's a rocky road.
yeah, I'm sure it is. So what is it that you would say to somebody who is young and says, hey, look, I want to do this?
My biggest thing would be ask questions.
Yeah.
Talk to people that do it. Get your hand in it. If you can help somebody, if you know a local farmer, help them a little while. That's what I did. I helped some local farmers as a teenager, and that helps you know a little bit more about what the day-to-day is.
It does.
And then when it comes time to want to branch out and do that, then the money aspect of it and getting the money and how you're going to make it work, I feel like
you just hope there's some there.
you hope there's some there, and like we just mentioned, they've got several programs in place and a lot of grants out there.
Yeah, and that's something too, though. But when you say, when we joke about hope there's money there, but in the end, you really do. I mean, you talk to any farmer that's in it for the end, for the long haul, they're going to tell you the same thing. Yeah, we really do. We hope that there's money in the end, but they do it because they love it. They do it because it's what they want to do every day, and I get it.
That's right.
Kelty, you got any closing statement that you would share that would be maybe an aha moment for somebody that's thinking about buying land, just buying land?
So if you're talking about just buying land, I mean, if you can start working with your lender, and we would prefer, obviously, for you to be working with River Valley AgCredit on the beginning stage, because we can look into pre-qualifications, look at what you already have as far as income, and kind of give you an idea of what payment you're going to be able to afford and what size tract you should be looking at. That's going to just benefit you. So when you're ready to move and you're ready to hire houseman partners to take care of everything on the realty side, then you've already got your lending, your application, and everything is all together. Right. You were talking about you're hoping money is there in the end. So when we think about agriculture going into 2025, we know it's going to be tight. We see the prices. Prices are low. And whenever I'm talking about prices, specifically right now, I'm speaking about the commodities, corn, soybeans, wheat. Right. Those prices are low, but the input prices are still high. So when I'm talking about inputs, it's your fertilizer, it's your lime, it's your seed, it's your chemical. Fuel. Fuel. River Valley AgCredit and the farm credit system as a whole was built to stick with our farmers and with our rural people through the good times and through the bad times. There's no amount of our customers that are saying, well, we want you to really focus on this type of loan because this is the most lucrative at this time. We're always there. Our mission is to help farmers and be there for rural America. So whenever we talk about that money, we know things are getting tight. We know things are going to be a little bit less lucrative on the farm side this year and maybe the next couple of years to come, but that doesn't shy us away from having available capital to lend out for our farmers, especially for people wanting to get into it.
That's, you said you made a good point about somebody just start out, see what your budget is, but don't let it be untold that also that if you buy a piece of ground or whatever it is, and when I say some ground, if it's 5, 10, 100 acres or whatever, you're going to have something to take care of it.
Absolutely.
Save room for some equipment, budget that in, and those are all things that kind of go without saying. But still, it is an expense. It is something that you need to think about too. And I always say that whenever somebody calls us about, we don't live there. We just want to come there a couple of times a year if we want to. Is there anybody close that would tend to take care of it? And there's always somebody that seems like we find, and y'all got resources like that as well. So, with your relationships with all the farmers and all the counties around. So there's a lot of that there's people available. So it's a good thing.
Something else I was wanting to ask her, she hit on it a minute ago, talking about River Valley being a cooperative and being a member. And you also mentioned the refinancing. Tell us a little bit about how that works with River Valley and what the perks are. A lot of people that's never dealt with them don't understand what that's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So being a true cooperative, when you get a loan with us, you're our stockholder, you're a member. So a bank is going to have separate stockholders, and you may have an account with a bank, but you may not be really reaping any of the benefits. Everybody who has a loan with us stands to reap the benefits of River Valley AgCredit. There are different levels of benefits. I will say on the farm side, the benefits are patronage refunds. So after we pay all of our bills, we pay our salary, and we hold back what we're required to hold back because FCA tells us what we have to hold back. All of the rest of our money goes back out to our borrowers. That refund is the only time that it would be stopped is if our board elects to stop it, and we would have to be in really bad shape. And I can tell you right now, we have always paid patronage. So our members always get those checks in April. It comes right around tax time, which is a benefit. Something else that is a benefit because we are a cooperative is when our interest rates lower, instead of you actually having to refinance, we can just do a note modification. So if our cost of funds go down, we pass that on to our customers because we're cooperative, and when our customers are doing well, we're doing well. Other than that, of course, we have a lot of perks of that local agricultural knowledge. Every single one of our lending staff and also our branch assistants, they're local to that area. They're going to know what's going on. If you need a resource, they're there. But they're all trained in agriculture. They're all trained in finance. And I can tell you right now, finance is finance, but agricultural finance is a totally different breed.
There are benefits. It's not a place you just go and they loan you money. They absolutely reward you back. And so, and like she said, they've always had a payback. So it's a good thing. It's a great thing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. This has been fun.
Yeah.
You bet.